Hey everyone! Welcome back! I am back today with more Mob Psycho 100. You guys, I am very excited. If you're joining me early today, you already know what it means. It means you are one of my awesome patrons. Thank you so much, and as always, I'm sending you up those big old hugs right through that screen. And if not, still thank you for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. I do hope you'll consider supporting me that way. The link to my Patreon is going to be in the description down below. So we had a great resolution to our little story that we had started last time on Mob Psycho 100. I was really worried that maybe it wouldn't get resolved like within 2 episodes, but thank God it did. But we kind of left the door open for some things to happen in the future. We know that the psychic that we had been dealing with didn't really didn't get exercise, let's put it that way. Is still at large to a degree. I mean, it's now in like looks like a little pill bottle thing. I don't know. But still out there and still could pop up. We had this not really tease, but kind of a hint that like when Mob had just reached his unknown percentage of power, we heard the psychic telling him like, oh, that's when your vessel is gone, like that's what's inside, that's what's left. So is it like his consciousness, his soul, his soul was in there already, so I don't know. But I've been wondering about that for a while, because last time we saw that was the fight with Teru, like way back when. I loved the episode. I loved the message that it brought about, you know, never having to give in to, just completely give in to negative emotion. We saw poor Mob. He was put through that for 6 months. I can't even believe it. But even after that, his takeaway was to be grateful for the people in his life who had shaped his life for the better. And once he came to his senses and was more aware of who he really was, he was even able to look at the bullies who had tormented him and recognize that, you know, anyone can change. And people's lives are constantly changing and being influenced by the people around them. So a much deeper understanding of emotion, I think, than sometimes like I give Mob credit for. Because while he does kind of struggle with or he has in the past, he's actually gotten a lot better with this, but kind of like struggled with the way that he processed emotions and categorized them, and, you know, this kind of structured way of thinking about his life and his emotions, he really gets so much more about life than like I think anyone knows. So I just really loved watching him just rise above it and have this epic battle inside this girl's like possessed mind. It was really sweet. And even at the end, the possessed girl, because I guess she had remembered that, like, she was a part of it as well, that whole scenario, and had really been a bully in life, and was crying at the end, and Mob was just like, that's okay, people change, you know. I just love Mob. And I have to say I'm really loving Reigen as well, because Reigen has proven himself time and time again to be a boss, and I loved how he had to like kind of con Dimple to stick around and help, and like he'll wheel and deal, but he has this strong sense of morality and just this wonderful bond with Mob that like is so pure. I love it. Like, for a con artist, he's like the purest con artist ever. So I'm really enjoying the season so far. I'm looking forward to seeing where it's going to go, and if we're going to revisit some of these things and what we're going to develop next. So what do you say we go ahead and get started? Next episode. Come on now. Oh, I gotta be honest, I'm proud of Reigen for like going and making the most of what he can do, which, as we've seen in a lot of cases, is very helpful. Yes, it's not exactly actual psychic stuff, but if somebody is more relieved or relaxed or, feels that their problem has been resolved by his methods, I mean, it's a little shady, but still, I'm proud of him for like not relying on Mob and like making his own path, and I'm proud of Mob for taking a stand and deciding, he doesn't necessarily have to be used in that way. I'm proud of them both. I don't know, it's weird because like I don't want them to never see each other again or not work together anymore, but I'm proud of them both. I don't know. I'll get more into it. Let's see if there's an after credits. Probably not. So cute. I love the ending. All right, after credits. We'll see. No. All right, you guys, let's talk. That was such a good episode. I really enjoyed that. I loved exploring Mob's and Reigen's potential, like, without each other. I've really come to love this bond that they have, and, like, I don't want to see it broken, but I also think it's, Mob's been trying to get a healthier outlook on the world, and I'm proud of him for not just, like, kind of, like, taking orders and everything, and being put in a situation where, like, he's kind of put out of his way. Like, we had the whole thing in the last episode about the evil spirit psychic telling him, like, you're just letting people walk on you and letting people use you, and that's what I did. And, like, I don't agree with what he was after at all. But even Reigen said in this one, like, he kind of put the idea in Mob's head of, like, don't let people walk all over you and use you and everything, and he was kind of the one in that situation who was walking on him and using him. I hate to say it, but I think he got a little too, I think it's not even just a matter of relying too much on Mob in their work. I think he really does care about Mob, but he kind of got this idea of Mob in his head that, like, he couldn't do anything for himself or take care of himself, or, he kind of needed Reigen, and, was going to kind of be in trouble if Reigen wasn't there to look out for him. And while I do love their bond and the influence that Reigen has had on him, I think Reigen needs to realize that Mob isn't just someone or something for him to, like, take care of, is nice and altruistic as that is to a degree. Like, it's good that Mob is getting out there and learning how to think for himself and make his own friends and broaden his world and have other people to talk to besides Reigen. Like, it's almost kind of like a parental relationship between the two of them, and that can be very tough, I think, for someone in that role to accept. But, like, independence is not a bad thing, That being said, I do hope that this isn't like the last of Mob and Reigen. I think with a little bit more balance involved and maybe some, like, boundaries, like, I think it could be a great mentorship and friendship and great for both of them. But I think that having the little break was great for Reigen as well, and I'm really glad that they explored that. It wasn't just, Reigen is just going to fall apart without Mob, and I love that they explored that, like, hey, maybe he had gotten a little comfortable in what he was doing in his business because Mob was there, and when you take Mob out of the situation, he actually is a very good businessman and very charming and very capable of, like, soaring to new heights. Not super on board with him getting exposed publicly, though. Even though I was a little mad at him in this episode at times, like, I'm proud of him, and I don't want this to happen to him. I hope it doesn't end badly, and he doesn't, like, lose everything and get exposed as a fake. I mean, it's weird, because, like, he is a fake. Like, he is. I mean, there's no way around it, but like I said, I mean, he does help people. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. It's very tricky. It's like one of those things that you'd have to see it to really fully appreciate the context of it. Because on any other show, if you had like a con artist, business person, they would be the bad character, or at least like not a good character. And it's a very interesting thing that they've built up here. I really enjoy it. I love Mob with his friends. I love Mob having fun and like just enjoying being around people. And I just love it. I love it. I'm proud of them both. But I'm mixed. I have mixed feelings about this. I would like them to come back to like a balance, maybe an understanding of like, can they only do exorcisms like on a certain day or something? Like he said, it sounded like Mob had been after him a lot to like, please don't call me spur of the moment. But like if he decided to add that back into his business, they could just like do it during certain hours, you know? He would have like a work schedule. I don't know. I would really love for this to just like be a have your cake and eat it too thing where like they went, they grew as people, and now with that new understanding, they're going to come back together and be friends again and work together again. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work that way. I don't know what's going to happen with this whole TV thing. Kind of concerned. But that episode was a ton of fun. I loved seeing Reigen's backstory. I loved fleshing out like the two of them kind of growing on their own. Really, really fun stuff. Absolutely loving this season. I think I am now halfway through this season. Is this season also 12 episodes? Because that would mean I'm now halfway through, which is crazy. I'm really enjoying it, guys. I think you guys were right that this season's going to be even better than the last one. The last one was really good. So I had a blast with that episode. I hope you had as much fun watching with me as I did watching the episode. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please be sure to join me next time, and we will watch it together. Bye for now, guys.